3.
Hey everybody, welcome to Halftime Live on Brew Sports. It is a Thursday edition of the program. First things first, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
It's so good to see you.
Why do you have a lisp?
May the 4th be with you.
Do you have you got something in your mouth, or what's
Yes.
going on there?
Yes.
A little bit crazy. It is Star Wars Day, International Star Wars Day, and people are beside themselves. We are celebrating here at Brew Sports.
Naturally.
I mean, what else can you say? You play the music, you have a good time, you have lightsabers.
I should have brought one.
Should have brought one. We missed an opportunity,
Next
I feel
year.
like.
There's always next year.
That's true. There is always next year. But if we're going to have like a Star Wars battle, we need to have the proper song, though. The Duel of the Fates from Phantom Menace.
Yep.
That's like the most.
Oh my god.
It's amazing.
It's the most sought after Star Wars movie of all time.
Hey, I actually went on record today to say that I think Phantom Menace is my favorite Star Wars movie.
I knew it.
Why did you know
tell.
that?
I
How
had
could
a
you tell?
feeling. I had a feeling.
Can't
Oh
tell
my God.
nothing. Don't act like you know me.
Unbelievable.
I like it for a couple.
Unbelievable.
From a trilogy, chronicle, whatever nerdness, people are all about like, oh my gosh, like that's like, yeah, you're not a Star Wars fan.
This is why
Episode
we're going to start
1.
sit cut later.
Are we gonna play Start Sit Cut later
Yes,
with Star
and
Wars things, or what are we doing?
Start sit cut episode 1, 2, 3. So
Okay.
the worst of all of them.
Sure.
I don't think they're that bad, but some of them. And then also start sit cut the worst characters in Star Wars history. So Jar Jar Binks, Darth Maul, and a wild card in General Grievous. So we'll do
Darth
that
Maul
later.
is not a like. Okay.
This
All
is
right,
why.
I'll save it.
This
I'll
is why
save it.
I put it in there.
I will save it.
for
I
later.
won't say anything. I will keep it to myself.
Don't fill yourself up all in the first segment.
I don't want to get after it too quickly yet, but are you celebrating Star Wars Day or anything? Are you going to do anything productive with your life, or are you just going to let it happen today?
Well, my girlfriend's coming back from Chicago today, and she's a huge Star Wars fan, so maybe we'll celebrate with some Star Wars trilogy action or something.
There you go. That sounds like a good time. Adam says, good morning, ladies. Good morning to you.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th. I just don't understand the list. Like, why do you got to...
Well, it's because it's normally May the Force be with you.
Well, yes, I
and now
understand
it's May
that.
the 4th,
That
which
doesn't make any sense.
sounds like a natural lisp. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th. Just say 4th. Why do you have to...
May the 4th be with you.
Maybe you're insulting people out there that have lisps, and they can't say the day
Does it
properly.
even it sound like when you say it? Go ahead, say it right now.
May the 4th be with you.
It still sounds like a lisp, does it not?
No, it does not.
Yes, it does. Absolutely, it does. It sounds like a lisp. May the 4th be with you.
I
It's
think
natural.
you just have some issues you need to work
I
through.
have a lazy lisp.
You do. You have
Lip.
a lazy lip, something like that. Trevor says, gentlemen, good morning.
Good
How are you
morning.
guys? It never feels like the morning to me. Yeah, afternoon. You are excused, Trevor. Good Lord. Get your act together.
Oh, it's still the morning here, technically. So.
I guess it is. I'm actually drinking today. That doesn't happen very often. I have a beer. Tanner doesn't. But Tanner apparently wants to puke.
I don't necessarily
I don't
want
know
to
why.
puke. It may be some other things going on in my stomach that I do
you
not
pregnant?
need to get into. Yes, it's official. I myself am pregnant, and I don't know what it is. I'll wait 10 years to let it decide.
You're gonna wait 10 years. My dad jokes that he's been pregnant for a very long time and just has yet to deliver the baby. We'll see if that ever comes at some point.
Oh man,
Ridiculous. We do have a lot of fun stuff going on today, of course. The NFL is in full swing in terms of the offseason. The draft just took place. But some interesting storylines and articles that have been rolling around that we want to make sure that we hit on. We do also want to wish a very, obviously mentioned, a very international happy Star Wars Day to all the wonderful people out there as well, too. We just got a lot of things to talk about. Christian Heimall is going to be here a little bit later as well, too. We're going to poke our heads briefly into the college football world.
Yes.
Not a lot, just kind of like open the door,
talk a little bit
say
about.
hey to Jim Harbaugh as he hands Air Jordans to the Pope, and then poke our head back out.
Well, I keep hearing about how great this quarterback class is next year, so I'm
That's what
interested.
everyone's saying. Like, next year, man.
How do you
next
know
year.
though? You never really know.
Nobody knows.
Like, oh, next year's a deep.
If
deep
everybody
draft
knew,
for
Tom Brady would
quarterbacks.
have been a first overall draft pick if people really
Yeah.
knew.
Speaking of Tom Brady,
What a guy.
I was playing Madden yesterday.
'Kay.
And I swept the Patriots in this season.
Swept the
I
Patriots.
crushed them in both games.
Wow.
They didn't score more than 14 points in either game. So it's safe to say.
And you said you've done hardly any changes to the roster. You haven't added in new players.
I've actually, like
Have
I
you
said,
signed anybody?
I haven't signed. Well, I've re-signed people, but
But you
I
haven't gotten any
brought
new
anybody
faces and
in.
even traded anybody
No,
in.
but I've figured
How is
out
this
the
possible?
run. a screen-heavy offense with
screens.
Really? A lot of screens, some short passes on the outside. And
that's interesting.
My run game just was not picking up, and I felt bad for LaShawn McCoy, so I started involving him in the passing game, and he's got like 7 touchdowns right now, receiving touchdowns. But here's the deal.
Is LaShawn McCoy a Pro Bowler?
It's safe to say that Tom Brady may be on the back end of his career.
On the back end of his career.
Well, at least in Madden 17.
I was going to say, in Madden 17, I think maybe that's a safe bet. But if you look at everything else circulating, that's not the case.
It's funny because the first time we played the Patriots this season, Bill Belichick was not coaching. So I'm like,
what does that mean?
They had somebody else as their head coach.
I don't know. What?
Yeah, I was like,
I don't understand.
It was the first season of the game. I'm like, why isn't Bill Belichick coaching this team right now? So maybe that's why. Maybe
you think Bill finally just packed it up and left?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I don't see all the tweets on there from Adam Schefter and all these other guys.
Maybe you should dig back through, do some research, be like, what happened to Bill Belichick?
I'm leading the division right now, so there's hope. Bills fans, there is hope.
You heard it here first. Tanner Burke trying to revolutionize what the Buffalo Bills are trying to do.
Screen heavy, a lot of slant
You figured
routes.
It out. Listen, guys, run the screen.
Tyrod Taylor has like 30 rushing yards on the season, so
gosh.
he somehow turned into a pocket passer. It's ridiculous.
James actually does debacle the issue for us. He said, actually, Bill Belichick is not in any of the video games.
Are you serious?
It's true. I remember this. Now that he said that, I do remember this. I forget what year it was, but if you go, whatever game I was playing, you look at who the Patriots head coach, it just says New England head coach. Doesn't say his name. I wonder why that is.
Wow.
Because everybody else is in there.
There must have been some. I'm sure you have to sign off on it or something, right?
I'm assuming so. But why would you not want your image and likeness in a game?
I don't know how it works with coaches. I know the NFL.
Is Bill
PA,
that above the rest of the world?
I don't know. I'll have to do some research. I'll get an intern on it.
Seriously.
Beckham, this is your opportunity. Get your work out there. Look at him. He's so cute.
He's adorable.
So
he said he's got a future #1 draft pick. He's being scouted for next year's NFL draft as well, Joe.
I can tell he's repping the football pajamas.
He was. He had a future NFL. He had a future quarterback onesie on yesterday as well too.
He's not gonna be a kicker.
I don't know.
We talked about it yesterday how great the life is as an NFL kicker.
He also had a daddy's little linebacker as well too, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I
didn't sign off on you being a linebacker, so you need to get a new onesie there, son.
Better stock up on some Wheaties.
Seriously, daddy's little kicker is more like it.
Lean ground beef.
Seriously, Benny wants to know who won the backyard football game we played. Well, Benny, why don't you ask Tanner who won that game?
Oh my God. Are we going to have a rematch?
I think we're going to. That video's gotten over 1,000 views.
That's amazing. Well, it was a phenomenal game.
It was. It was down to the wire.
Devin,
people were having
a
heck of a good time.
Here's the deal. I kicked his butt, and I had every opportunity to come back and win in the fourth quarter. I had 2 chances, and in perfect Bills fashion, even in backyard football, they still blow it.
Couldn't do it. Ran the hocus pocus play, threw it to the wrong receiver.
What? I don't know. He was wide open, and I throw it to Jocinda Smith, who's 3 yards down the field. What is this? What is this garbage?
I know. Brett Favre,
Ridiculous.
Man. Brett Favre. Meanwhile, Dan Marino leading my Packers to victory. It was a good day.
Unbelievable.
Pete Wheeler was my MVP of the game. Dante Robinson making some
Are we gonna
ankle
do
tackles.
We have to do a Madden simulation again soon.
We're going to need
on
to.
The air.
On the air? We just did like a Facebook Live last time.
The Bills are 0-2 against the Packers in our competitions here.
That is very true. We'll have to find a way to do that. That might be something good to do.
Yes.
Yeah, Benny says he's very happy that the Bills lost. So
Unbelievable.
I don't blame you, Benny. It was a heck of a game. Christian also says what Tanner's forgetting to tell us is that you're actually playing on rookie level. That's why you've been so successful.
No, I'm not. I'm on All Pro.
What?
I'm not All Madden.
That's impossible.
I'm not going All Madden because I'm not crazy.
On All Pro.
I'm on All Pro. What is it? Rookie, Pro, All Pro, right? I'm on All Pro.
I think so. And then All Madden or just Madden.
I'm not.
I'd like to call hacks on that. I feel like that just seems a bit ridiculous.
I'll prove it to you. I'll
bring it in. Check the tape.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
Not happening.
Whatever you say.
Whatever. Trevor also says Tom Brady will be the first to undergo controversial bionic limb surgery. He's going to play till he's 50. You heard it here first.
Well, if there's anybody to do it, it's him.
It's true, and Turber, the man on the street, giving us the information apparently. So, Adam also says, "Yo, Tanner, it's no joke when it comes to Xbox."
It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Nobody believes me. This is ridiculous.
Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you.
We're 5-1. Get over it. We have plenty of time to blow it. All right.
You're going to. You're gonna end
Here's
up.
the deal,
you're gonna
though.
be like
We're
6-10. Calling it now.
we're 4-0 in the division right now. 2-0 against the Patriots, so I like our odds.
Well, you're gonna at least have the Patriots taking it. But what about the Dolphins?
Well,
what have they been doing?
I started out by saying, because I created a new coach, I fired Rex Ryan.
Smart.
And of course, everybody in the game's like, it's a head scratcher. They bring in this guy, Tanner Burke, who has absolutely no coaching experience. And
How
I'm
could
like,
he possibly lead the franchise?
I'm like, wait a minute.
To any possible success.
But yeah, no, I strongly believe in this team. And my expectations at the beginning of the season, you set season expectations as the coach. I said, make it to the conference championship. So I wasn't totally ridiculous and said, we'll take a conference championship. We don't need to make it to the Super Bowl. But the repercussions of that is if we don't make it to the conference championship, I get fired.
Are you going to get fired? What are you going to do if you get fired as the Bills head coach?
I don't know. Here's the deal. The Bills haven't made the playoffs in 17 years, and if a coach comes in and says he's going to make it to the conference championship and he only makes it to like the divisional rounds, you're gonna fire him.
It's Buffalo. They've done
you
more.
go 13-3 and
they've done more for less. So we'll have to see, I guess. I don't know. So we're gonna get to Christian Heimall in just a little bit, but from a Thursday perspective, Tanner, we talk about a couple of things making us thirsty. We talked about this briefly with the New England Patriots, not to continue to stay on them, but there's articles that have been coming out recently saying the Patriots won the draft before the draft even started. They added Brandon Cooks, they added Dwayne Allen, and then the couple of guys they drafted were these like small school nobodies that are projected to have ridiculous value.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, the guys they drafted.
With the guys Brandon Cooks, Allen, and Stephon Gilmore naming his daughter after Tom Brady's wife.
I love it.
I mean, it's scary.
Makes total sense to me.
It's scary to think that the team that just won the Super Bowl could be a lot better this year.
Why is that scary to think?
Because I have to play them twice.
Well, you're not
my team.
Tanner Burke doesn't have to coach them this year, though.
No. He's already beat the Patriots twice in that.
Exactly.
That
You're just
league.
like, no, it's completely fine. In Madden 2017, we've got the Patriots handled.
Yes.
How terrified are you for the Patriots? What is a realistic expectation for the Patriots this season? Is 14 wins too high to predict? If you're a Patriots fan?
I hope so. If
Those
I'm a
two
Patriots fan, no. If I'm a Patriots fan, I'm like,
Or are those two
We're
losses
undefeated. It's the only way to do it.
two losses are going to come to
Tom
Buffalo?
Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. I don't need to get into it.
Right. Buffalo will grab, go 13-3. New
But
England
naturally.
Right. New England will go 14-2. The two losses coming to Buffalo.
and then Buffalo loses in the wild card game.
Yeah, Buffalo's going to lose in the wild card game to Tennessee or somebody random that finds their way to
The
get
best
in.
season we've had in 25 years, and we'll lose in the wild card.
As long as you're consistent, that's all that really matters, honestly. I mean, what are you thirsty for today, Tanner?
I'm thirsty for a. First of all, happy May the 4th be with everybody out there. The Lakers are excited about Lonzo Ball.
I'm glad
They're
somebody is.
enamored about him.
Why?
I don't know, because it's in LA. LA loves entertainment. I just think it's ridiculous. It's hilarious, but it's
Lonzo
ridiculous.
Ball doesn't need to go to the Lakers. He needs to get to the other side of the country to get away from his dad.
I think if he goes to the Lakers, it might be the best thing for him because at this point he's embracing the ridiculousness that is his current life.
That makes no sense. He needs to get out of Dodge right now.
It'd be a horrible thing for the Lakers organization. They put him in a terrible light. But I'm also hungry for one other thing. Gary Barnidge.
Thirsty, not hungry.
I'm hungry though.
Why are you hungry?
Because
It's not Hungry Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday.
Were you born in a Barnidge? Gary Barnidge, he's all over the place right now. Probably the hottest available free agent at the moment.
Supposedly.
Jamal Charles is gone. AP is gone. I'd say he's.
Were those guys
he's up
ever
there.
that hot though?
No, I think if you put AP, Gary Barnidge, and Jamal Charles in the mix together, I'd say maybe AP and Gary are equally at the top. But you would disagree. I understand that.
No, I think Gary's at the top. I don't have a problem with Gary. I never said I had a problem with Gary.
No, you have a problem with AP and every other running back that is or was ever a free agent.
I can neither confirm
Christian
nor deny
Michael
that.
is terrible. He's the worst running back ever.
I think you could start.
Eddie Lacy, it's awful. So glad we got rid of him.
Totally underwhelmed.
It's true.
Jeez.
Marshawn Lynch, he was never good.
Never liked him.
Never liked him.
All he did was eat Skittles. No. Trevor says, play big Barnidge, baby. He visited the Bills yesterday.
He visited the Bills yesterday. He's He's going to visit the Jaguars and the Panthers. So, I mean, what blows my mind is that the Browns just straight up released him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense
for
to
no
me.
really good reason.
Because he was a top 10, I think, tight end in the league.
Absolutely.
So
he just needs a quarterback.
And the Browns had a phenomenal draft, and it finally looks like they know what they're doing over there. And then they released Gary Barnidge, and you're like, time out.
Easy.
Yeah, I know. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I don't understand it, but I love the idea of Gary Barnidge. I think the potential of him coming to Buffalo would be great. I mean, any team that gets him is going to get a great player. He was a phenomenal tight end with no quarterback. Maybe that's what it was, because we were talking about before the show today, we were talking about how there must be something else there for the Browns to just release him, because why wouldn't they try to trade him or something like that? Maybe he just wanted to get released.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe he was just sick and tired of being sick and tired in Cleveland. I mean, he got famous, a year or two ago because he made some, crazy catch between his legs or whatever, inadvertently. Mm-hmm. But aside from that, what has he done? And I think a lot of that is a byproduct of not having a good quarterback.
What's his 40 time?
4.61.
4.61 as a tight end.
He's been in the NFL since 2008? Something like that, 8 or 9. 12 receiving touchdowns, 14 receiving touchdowns. Only had 2 last season.
Adam says Bills should pick up Cruz and Barnidge. Well, here's the thing. The Bills just turned down the 5th-year option for Sammy Watkins, and behind Sammy Watkins, we literally have 0 receivers.
Right.
So
Except for that one dude wearing the OJ shirt.
Yeah, go get Victor Cruz and go get Gary Barnidge. It'd be great to have Charles Clay and Gary Barnidge, though. It'd be two solid tight ends.
And this is the thing, too. We talked about this, too, off the air, and I said this would be a very New England thing to do to go out and sign him, because New England loves tight ends.
And it would be scary to see him on the opposite side of Rob Gronkowski.
Right.
And we all know Rob Gronkowski's injury-prone, so to have a guy like Gary Barnidge there to step up would be great. So.
You need a guy that's going to be consistent, and I think
Scott
Barnidge
Chandler's
could be
not doing
guy.
it over there. Scott Chandler's not doing it over there.
He's not awful.
Aaron Hernandez, not available.
He was so deadly, too. Too soon, probably, for that one. Anyway, I know. I'm sorry. Did you clean your microphone off, by the way, yesterday from all the powdered sugar you were chewing?
Everywhere.
You were talking about playing golf with the Dalai Lama?
It was a terrible idea.
My God. All right.
Big head of the llama.
The big head of the llama. Oh, at least I have that going for me.
That'll get internal consciousness. At least I got that going for me. That's nice.
That is nice. That's very nice. All right. Christian Heimall is a good friend of ours. We also know, Benny says too soon. Sorry, Benny. My bad. We know Christian Heimall from his great coverage when it comes to not only golf, but also the college basketball world. But he also is knowledgeable about the college football world as well.
Stop
too.
it.
I know.
He does it all.
We make the jokes that Brew Sports is powered by Christian Heimall, or Christian Heimall is powered by Brew Sports. I don't necessarily know who is powered by who. We have yet to officially nail down the contract details in that regards. But Christian Heimall is a very good friend of not only Brew Sports, but of the halftime program as well, too. And it's obviously always a pleasure when we get the chance to speak with a guy like him. Christian, of course, a very good day to you. Welcome to halftime today, sir. How are you?
I'm happy to be back. It's been a while, guys.
It has been. There was a lot of contract talks. There was a lot of late night boardroom discussions of whether or not we were going to renew you for a 5th year.
I thought the network was gonna shut down because you're like the Gatorade that keeps us going, man.
Honestly, but we're glad we could put our differences aside from each other, Christian.
I'm just glad the people beneath. It's all the detail people. That's the issue. I mean, we have the ideas. We just got to let the detail people figure it out.
Right.
So, we finally let them figure it out, and we're good.
Exactly. Sandra in accounting, Jill over there in PR. Those ladies have been working real hard. So I'm glad we got it put together.
Resources, all that stuff. We're
right.
Good,
exactly. So. Karen and
Karen.
I love Karen. She was the real implementing piece in all of this.
Nobody loves Karen.
Nobody does. But she got Christian back. So that's,
she did get Christian back.
That's all that matters, I guess, in all of this. So, all right, Christian. We want to talk to you briefly about the wide world of college football. Of course, Clemson claimed that national championship last year. The draft is over, so in theory, for some people, college football is dead. Nobody cares about it until August. Well, that's not true. We do care about it, especially when Jim Harbaugh and Michigan are hanging with the Pope in Rome. Vatican City. It's its own separate country. Well, yes. Forgive me. Either way, but are you starting to get that college football bug again, Christian? Because I know that people love college football and other people don't care about it until it comes to bowl season.
There are people who love the NFL draft because they get to talk about the NFL. I love the NFL draft because we get to talk about college players again. That's what's so fun for me, is that now we can sit there and talk about, hey, who's going to be the number one guy next year? Look at all the people that Alabama lost. Look at the fact that Deshaun Watson, who wasn't the number one quarterback taken, yet he demolished the Alabama secondary, and the entire Ohio State secondary, which all went in the first round. So that's what makes me so excited about the NFL draft is college football season is here. And then, of course, not to be one-upped by any NFL team, what does the brass at Alabama do a couple weeks after? They give the greatest coach in college football history, no offense to guys like Bo Schembechler and all those other greats and Lou Holtz and whatnot, but they give the greatest coach in college football history a 3-year, a nice extension, give him a chance to make $11 million. So, not to be outdone by anybody.
If you're getting $11 million just this year, you must be doing something right, honestly. And that's the coach that lost the national championship last year, which is the funny part about it.
Yeah.
I don't see Clemson dishing out new contracts for their guy, but I mean, what are you going to do? Dabo Swinney, of course, is a great coach. Let's not take anything away from them. But I mean, Tanner, what do you make of the college football season? Like I said, I know we're still a couple months away from it, but do you get hyped for it? I mean, do you cheer for Buffalo U? Like, what do you do?
Naturally, I cheer for
Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I was going to say, naturally,
Right.
I cheer for University of Buffalo. Their program not doing so hot right now. But yes, Khalil Mack, of course. I'm a big Nebraska fan, so I root for Nebraska, and it's fun to have them in the same conference as Wisconsin now. So the Big Red going up against the other Big Red and the Badgers.
Right. The
so,
Cardinal or whatever
yes,
we call ourselves, Cardinal Red.
But I love the college football season for all the bowl championships that literally make no sense to me. Why there are you win a bowl and you're like, okay, we won the Florida Bowl or the Orange
Sun
Bowl,
Trust
like,
Life Insurance of
the
Northwestern
GoDaddy Bowl.
Mutuals,
It's like
4KK.
when you get
what?
a ring, does it say GoDaddy? Like it's almost like a consolation prize for the national championship.
I'm still a big component that the college football playoff needs to expand, but that's a topic for another day.
Yes, but I do love the idea of fresh new quarterbacks to watch for the next year. And all I've been hearing about is how great this class is for quarterbacks. And I don't know how much I can actually dive into that. I'm looking at the list right now, and I'm like, okay, there's a couple guys from some good schools on here.
USC
but
and others.
Christian, is this year going to be as good of a draft for quarterbacks as people are hyping it up to be?
Well, listen, I personally think that depending on how Josh Rosen at UCLA recovers from his injury that sidelined him for basically the entire year last year, depending on how he does, there are 4 quarterbacks that could come out next year that are better than the 3 guys taken in the first round. Deshaun Watson may prove us wrong, I think. I mean, the thing about Deshaun Watson that I love is he's got the killer instinct. I didn't see it from Mitchell Trubisky, and I think a lot of that is only because we only saw him play 13 games. And I didn't see it from Patrick Mahomes because Texas Tech, anybody can throw it up and just have guys go get it at Texas Tech. No offense to him. And Deshaun Kaiser, I don't think is ready for the NFL, which is why he went as late as he did. But there are 4 guys I think that are incredibly talented. I mentioned Josh Rosen, number 1, him as a number 1 overall draft pick before the injury. Now everybody's talking about Sam Darnold at USC with great reason to, because at the end of the year last year, I thought USC was the second best team in the country. The only reason they weren't is because they had a couple early season losses and they were dropped down the rankings so far. But you look at him, Jake Browning at Washington, the Pac-12 is going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. And then, of course, let's see how JT Barrett does with his new offensive coordinator in Kevin Wilson from Indiana. And then the biggest thing for me, I think, is an unknown name that nobody's really going to know, similar to how we didn't find out about Carson Wentz until his senior year, is Josh Allen at Wyoming. So You got 4 or 5 guys that realistically, depending on how things shake out this year, next year's the 2018 quarterback draft class, we're going to be looking back and sitting there in a few years. It'll be very similar to when we went, oh my God, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, those guys were all in the same draft class. It could be a very similar type situation in a couple of years.
And I think that only makes the sport of football better, though, too. I mean, it's a quarterback-driven league, as you know, Phil Simms says. It's a passing league, So,
yes,
I mean, you need the quarterbacks to throw the ball. So, in theory, the better quarterbacks that come out from the college game, the better other teams, aside from the great teams already, like the New Englands, the Green Bays, Atlantas, other teams finally might have a chance to kind of scoot back up the ladder a little bit instead of being such at a disadvantage.
Right, and we've talked about it before where the elite quarterbacks in the league right now are getting up there in age, and there's about to be a huge swing in power in the NFL.
Yeah, very
Christian,
soon.
is this the year that will prep us for the next 15 years of football?
I think so, honestly, from a quarterbacking standpoint, because you look at who didn't go and get a quarterback this year in the NFL draft. Yes, the Giants went and got who they hope would be the heir apparent to Eli Manning. But I think there will be a lot better options next year. Drew Brees, his replacement, will be drafted next year. I think Phillip Rivers will officially have his replacement brought back and brought in next year. And then you look at, the Bills are probably, I know you don't want to hear it, but they're probably going to need one. They probably need one
I do want to hear it. I want to know who they're going to draft next year because it's going to happen.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to need one now. I don't know. This is what the really weird team to me from a quarterback standpoint is going to be next year is going to be the Green Bay Packers. That's going to be really interesting to me is when do they go and get Aaron Rodgers' replacement?
Right.
Because we forget that Aaron Rodgers spent 3 years on the bench before he became the guy in Green Bay. So he's a lot older than we think when it comes to it. But I don't think I'm still waiting to see. Obviously, we're all going to wait and see if Chicago has figured it out.
Yeah, that whole Mitchell Trubisky thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I love what the Browns did this year and from a draft class. I like the fact they're going to let it ride with Brock Osweiler and maybe get Deshaun Kaiser in there if you really need to. I think it was a smart move by them. And then San Francisco is going to need somebody. Oakland's not going to, or Las Vegas, whoever they are next year, they're not going to need one. Seattle, maybe. I mean, there's only so much more punishment Russell Wilson can take on his. It's gonna be fun.
Are we already looking for Russell Wilson's replacement? Is that what you were telling me?
I mean, the Bears are probably going to draft Mitch Trubisky's replacement next year anyway, too. I mean, we're already at that point. But you do bring up a good point about Green Bay, though. I mean, and that's something that doesn't get talked about a lot, I feel like, in the Midwest, especially in Wisconsin. It's because we always talk about how long has Aaron Rodgers got left. The number that I've heard swirling around is 3 years max. If he stays injury-free, he's got prime years.
I mean, I think he's got at least 5 years in him. He's still going to be. He's going to be.
Yes, but from a prime year
himself,
perspective, Aaron Rodgers has maybe 3 prime years of what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
There's mobility,
right.
all of that.
Right.
But Brett Hundley's not going to sit on the bench for another 3 years. He's just not. So I do agree with you, Christian.
The Packers
are good.
think that Brett Hundley's going to be your guy after.
Well, he's
Aaron
not going to
Rodgers.
be. He's going to be gone.
Okay.
They're going to trade him. They almost traded him during the draft this year.
Yes,
So I could see Brett Hundley leaving next year, maybe the year after, and then Green Bay finding another guy in the draft and starting to say, all right, learn from Aaron Rodgers because you're going to be our replacement. It makes sense.
There are tremendous guys. There are tremendous guys available, and honestly, the Packer model, what they saw when they drafted Aaron Rodgers, it works so well for them that I wouldn't be surprised at all if they go next year into the draft and they see, let's just put his name out there just for the sake of it, another California guy in Josh Rosen, the UCLA quarterback. They can get him late in the first round, or maybe trade down if he somehow falls into the second round and get him and let him sit on the bench for a couple of years and learn from Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. So, I mean, the other big wild card in all of this is Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, I love talking about Jimmy. I really do.
Big Jimmy.
He's the new Matt Castle. He is yet to really prove it to us, but when he does, he's going to get a fat contract somewhere else, or the Patriots going to do everything they can because they truly believe he is the heir apparent to Tom Brady. I mean, it's going to be amazing to watch. It's a lot of fun.
Well, A.J. McCarron's another name that keeps getting tossed around as well, too. I mean, and let's not forget, I know that there still is a lot going on, so let's not get too overhyped about it, but Johnny Manziel is still trying to work maybe with New Orleans. We heard Sean Payton working with him in the offseason. I know it seems far-fetched, and I know it seems crazy, but if you're looking for that quote-unquote replacement for Drew Brees, Johnny's only been a pro, quote-unquote, for 3 years?
Yeah.
At that? I mean, so in theory, he still has a lot of life left in him, especially since
pro
he took...
is a loose term.
Well,
he's
understand what I'm
technically been
saying.
a pro. I don't know if he's acted like a professional.
Right, but you understand what I'm saying, in the
yes,
sense that he only has played a year and a half professionally,
right,
and he's got a lot left to give. I know that's very far-fetched to think, Christian, but... I mean, is a guy like Johnny, if he cleans up his act, he's not an awful quarterback. I think he just needs to not be in Cleveland.
And the best place for him to be is and to learn. Now, listen, I'm going to say this and it's going to sound weird. The best place for him to be is New Orleans. And the reason for that is because Drew Brees, they are a similar type of quarterback. They are a similar stature. I believe they're the exact same height and weight.
So they're 6 feet tall. And
yeah. And they've got a bit – Johnny, you didn't really see it much at A&M, but he's got a big arm. And if there's one thing we always talk about with Drew Brees is he's got a cannon on his right shoulder. So, I think it's a great spot for him to be. Sean Payton, despite the whole bounty gate issue is a class act in the NFL and is someone who would be great for him to learn under. The only other place that would be better for Johnny Manziel, and he can't go there anymore because they went up and they got Patrick Mahomes, is Kansas City. That's the only other place I can think of to be better for Johnny Manziel than the New Orleans Saints organization. Now, the biggest issue is, again, is he going to be down there on Bourbon Street like Boogie Cousins every single day and just hanging out and, doing whatever he feels like doing? So that's the biggest thing. But again, it's so many people have tried to make the comparison, I think falsely, to Johnny Manziel's situation with what Ryan Leaf was. And Johnny hasn't gone that far down the rabbit hole as Ryan Leaf did. But it's up to Johnny, and Ryan Leaf has even said this on multiple occasions, it's up to Johnny to reach out for help. And until Manziel does that and actually acknowledges what's going on and fixes it himself, nothing's going to change. Because I think we all would agree we'd love to see that kind of exciting quarterback match. How much fun would it be to watch Johnny Manziel and Russell Wilson run around against each other in the same game? That'd be a lot of fun to watch.
I agree.
But if I have one team that I want to see Johnny Manziel play for, we were talking about how much fun he would be in New Orleans. I think from an entertainment standpoint, let's just go ahead and plug Johnny Manziel in Oakland.
He just wants him to be in Vegas.
Not Oakland, excuse me, in Vegas.
God, it doesn't make any sense.
But you know what?
Move ever.
I'll see your Las Vegas Raiders, and I'll raise you a team that actually needs a quarterback in the New York Jets. I mean,
gross.
Why?
They would take
put
a
him in New
chance
York.
on him too. They would take a chance on him.
I mean, they had Broadway Joe for such a long time, so what's to say that Broadway Johnny there?
Broadway Johnny, exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
Maybe he'll wear a fur coat to practice.
I would love to beat Johnny Manziel twice a year. It'd be so great. It would be so great.
Oh, my gosh.
Man.
Well, Christian, we got to let you run, but we appreciate you taking the time to swing by. For those that have forgotten where they can find you on social media because it's been too long, where can they find you, sir?
Check me out on Twitter at Chris Heimall. A lot of going. Listen, I'm hot takes all over the place, man. It's especially with baseball season now. Hot takes all over the place.
Hot take Chris. So. That's what they call him. At least that's what I've heard they call him.
That's what they say.
Awesome, Christian. Thank you so much, sir. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, guys.
All right, there goes Christian Heimall this afternoon, this morning, whatever day and time of where and place it is. According to our location on Facebook, we are just broadcasting from International Star Wars Day, so we could be anywhere in the galaxy that we want to be.
Tatooine?
Maybe. There actually is a legit Tatooine.
Really?
Like, I forget, I saw an article about it, but there is a Tatooine, I forget where it is. It's in Africa or somewhere in the world,
there you go.
Apparently. Fun fact. The more you know, right?
Super.
Couple check on the comments. Elizabeth, she says, go Bears with a couple of hearts. Well, I'm sorry about that, Elizabeth. Maybe some better life choices will come your way. David wants to know if Wyoming is still a state. I don't know if it is.
I haven't checked recently.
I have yet to hear if they've seceded or not. And Adam also says Johnny Football is going to make a comeback. Sean Payton and the Saints are a lot different than the Cleveland Browns, and they actually care about their players.
Isn't Wyoming like a suburb of Pennsylvania?
I think Wyoming is a city inside of Texas.
There it is.
I think that's what it is. It's just very vacant and open, and you can mine for gold.
The Dallas Cowboys used to play there.
Yes, the Wyoming Cowboys.
Yes.
I remember that. That makes so much more sense to me now.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I want to talk about one thing really quick before we...
Speaking of the Cowboys?
No.
Oh.
Before we go into start, sit, cut.
Because I gave you a good transition.
Well, all right.
That's fine.
I guess.
No, it's fine. You never take my transition.
You want to talk about that, then go ahead.
No, you mentioned you
I was
wanted to
talk
talk
about
about
something else.
Go ahead. Do what you got to do. It's not my show.
Speaking of the Cowboys, Tony Romo is not only just exercising his offer to be an analyst with CBS, he is also looking into playing professional golf.
Why not?
Because he's not a professional golfer.
But he's retired. How much extra stuff have your parents done since they retired? I feel like every other day you're telling me they're going on a cruise or going on a trip. When you're retired, you can do whatever the hell you want.
They're not even retired and they're doing it.
Exactly. They're like, what's that? Our boys are out of the house? See ya! Like, they're gone. They don't have any grandbabies to worry about. None of that business. Yes. They're just loving life.
I mean,
so why can't Tony have some fun?
He says he wants to try and get into the U.S. Open.
Right. He's got to beat out 9,000 people.
He's a scratch golfer, but that doesn't mean he's a professional golfer.
I don't even know what scratch golfing means.
It means you shoot par every time you play.
Right. That's about what I play.
Right.
On Golf Clash.
Right. I also, speaking of Tony Romo being a broadcaster, Jay Cutler came out and said that, this is breaking news, by the way. I heard this morning. Jay Cutler says that he may look into a post-career position as a broadcaster.
Why not?
He's sitting over here, smoking cigars, buck naked in the Caribbean, watching Tony Romo play professional golf, be a broadcaster, and Jay's like, you know what? That seems kind of cool.
And are they really that different, Tony Romo and Jay Cutler?
Both underwhelming quarterbacks.
Right. Are they that much different?
Well, Jay Cutler wasn't going to be honored at the Chicago Bulls game by being an honorary Bulls member.
Well, when they got drafted, like what happened with Mitch, you're saying?
No, I'm talking about.
They did that for Tony?
Tony Romo went and played. He was sat on the bench for the.
Think about it again.
What are you talking about?
Dallas is what you're looking for. Did you purposely mean to say what you said, though?
What do you think I said?
Well, I'm assuming. Well, you said Chicago Bulls, but I'm assuming
you're
using that
Jay
as
Cutler wasn't going to play for the Chicago Bulls like Tony Romo played for the
Mavericks. Yes, I understand what
is
you're
that
saying.
not? I thought that was pretty clear.
No, just want to make sure you knew what you were saying.
Yeah, that's exactly okay.
Okay, good. No, it's fine.
All right,
as you were.
His favorite Star Wars movie.
Phantom Menace. Episode 1.
Need not say more.
Get after me.
Unbelievable.
And I also hate baseball and hipsters as well.
Just ridiculous.
Oh, my God. Love life. Jay Cutler, Tony Romo in the broadcast booth alongside Jim Nantz and Bob Uecker and Al Michaels.
Adam says Jay Cutler has a hot wife. That's the difference. True that.
I mean, if Tony had stayed with Jessica Simpson, I feel like this would be a pretty fair game. In my opinion.
Adam says, I believe Wyoming used to be an old World War II warship. Yes.
I think so. The USS Wyoming.
So
I'm pretty sure
it's not around anymore.
Pretty sure every state has had a battleship or a warship at some point. Mm-hmm. That makes sense to me. All right. I'm done trying to throw you off the rails and whatever else. That's what we say for Fridays and Mondays and Wednesdays. You wanted to play Starts at Cut. You have Star Wars themed Starts at Cuts for us.
Yes.
I'm probably going to make you upset, so we might as well get after it.
Your favorite character is probably Jar Jar Binks.
No. Jar Jar Binks needs to get sawed in half.
Starts at Cut, worst Star Wars characters of all time. Jar Jar Binks, Darth Maul.
When you say start, that's who you're saying you think is the worst?
No, that's you still starts like you're still starting somebody to say, okay, I would rather have this person.
Oh, so whoever I cut is who I think is the worst.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes.
When you say the worst,
do you know what you're saying right now? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Nobody understands the words that come out of your mouth.
Starts at Cut, Jar Jar Binks, Darth Maul, and wild card General Grievous.
Listen, General Grievous can grow 2 more arms and can wield lightsabers like a boss. He can wield 4 lightsabers at once. Jar Jar has to get cut because he's completely useless. As much as Grievous is cool with his lightsabers, I got to sit him and I have to start Darth Maul. Nobody does Darth Maul better than Darth Maul. He's got the red spiky head, dual lightsaber. He does cool acrobatic things. Grievous just has asthma and swings lightsabers at people.
See, here's the deal. Okay, first of all, I'm going to cut Darth Maul because, nobody can swing around a lightsaber like that and not lose a limb.
Sure they can. It's called having the Force.
All right.
You're just jealous.
I almost wanted to cut General Grievous too, but it's not fair for General Grievous. General Grievous is a robot.
I know, and then he's just like,
he's like, I have 4 lightsabers, and you're like, okay. I can't.
And yet Obi-Wan still almost beats him. I'm like, how is that possible? 4v1.
I'm going to start Jar Jar Binks.
Why?
I'll tell you why. There is a theory out there saying that Jar Jar Binks might be the Sith Lord. And if it's true, oh my God.
It's not true.
If it is, though.
But it's not.
Wow. That would be great. He's just playing an idiot. But he's actually brilliant.
Is Jar Jar...
Type it in. Pull it up, man. It's like the Pixar theory.
Sith Lord. How can it be Pixar's theory? Jar Jar Binks
like
the Sith Lord.
Have you ever seen the Pixar theory?
There's a website called DarthJarJar.com. And it literally...
It lays it all out for you.
Star Wars film.
The Jar Jar Binks theory is partially true.
Jar Jar Binks is a Force-trained user. Now bow down to me. The future.
Secretly an evil Sith Lord controlling all the prequels, menaces from behind the scenes. That his bumbling comedic exterior was a simple ruse to throw off the Jedis. Oh my God, it's on BuzzFeed, so you know it's true.
I just don't think so. There's no way. It's just not physically possible.
I'm just saying. All right, let's start at the top. Jar Jar is a skilled warrior.
How? Yeah, because he bumbles around like an idiot. I've seen this article before. I know exactly what you're trying to make it.
I'm just saying.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying.
And Jar Jar, the only reason this is possible is because of what's his face there, George Lucas saying, "Oh, Jar Jar's the key to everything."
It says here, Jar Jar's goofy and uncoordinated mannerisms are a sophisticated form of martial arts focusing on bodily momentum, deception, and unpredictability intended to lure and confuse opponents. Well, he's doing it. He sure is doing it.
I think it's ridiculous. I also have some breaking news, by the way, really fast. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
Okay.
breaking news from Bleacher Report, Spurs' Tony Parker is out for the remainder of the playoffs due to a ruptured left quadriceps tendon.
Wow.
So he is out for the rest, and it might be the rest of his career, honestly. I think
could be.
he's an older feller, and I think he could honestly be done for the rest of his career. So Tony Parker out for the remainder of the playoffs, depending on how long San Antonio hangs around with Houston. You heard it here first.
He's out.
Get out of here. All right, you have one
Get
more?
Papo on it.
You have one more?
Yes. Start,
Episode 1.
Sid, cut. The worst Star Wars movies. Episode 1, 2, and 3.
Why are those the 3 that you chose? I feel like there's others that you could have put in there.
What else am I going to put in there? Like,
You could put
Rogue
episode
One?
6 in there. You could have put episode... Yeah, you could put Rogue One in there.
I don't want to touch the original 3 because
Why
they're...
not? Who
'cause
says
the
they're
entire
infallible?
Star Wars...
Who says they're infallible?
Listen, if you want to start to cut those, and you start to cut those, these are the starts to cuts that I made, and the entire Star Wars fan base would kill us if we cut any of the original 3 movies.
People need to just calm down. People are getting too fired up. People are going to probably pretend to force choke me through the screen right now. So
I'm going to start episode 1 because I was a wee child when that movie came out.
Which one?
Episode 1.
You were a wee child? We're the same age.
I know.
Okay.
It was like the reboot, so it was cool to be like, oh man,
Yeah.
look, Star Wars.
I
is
love
back.
episode 1.
That's the only reason I'm starting. I'm not saying it's a good
Yeah,
movie.
I'm starting episode 1 as well, too. Who are you cutting? Are you cutting 3 or cutting 2? Episode 2 is kind of useless.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut 2.
Yeah, and then 3 is okay. I haven't seen 3 in a long time, but I think I enjoyed it.
Well, may the 4th be with you, my friend.
And also with you. Luis on Facebook says episodes 2 and 4 are the worst Star Wars movies.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's settled. You heard it here first.
Adam also says his favorite Star Wars characters are Debrickashaw Ferguson and Barkevius Mingo as well.
Debrickashaw Ferguson.
Yep. I remember he was a Hutt, wasn't he? Debrickashaw, part of the Hutt family, the Hutt clan. Pretty sure that's who that was. Maybe he was a pod racer. I don't remember. Did you ever play the pod racing games?
Yeah, I did.
Did you ever play any of the Star Wars games? Do you have a favorite Star Wars game?
I had Legos. I do have a favorite Star Wars game.
What's your favorite Star Wars game?
Battlefront 2. I used to play it all the time.
Oh, sure.
And then the new Battlefront came out, and it was just terrible. Just terrible.
Really? You don't
Yeah.
like the new Star Wars
I did
Battlefront?
not like it. I own it. I've played it like twice.
Wow.
There was no storyline. There's nothing. It's just go
Well, I mean, how
play.
many times can you tell the same story?
I don't know.
Anakin is
Give
Luke's
me
father.
something to play. Give me some campaign. Call of Duty does it. It's a 20-minute campaign when you play Call of Duty, but it's still 20 minutes and has a storyline. Then you go play online forever.
True. That is very true. Yeah, I have no idea then about that one. I actually played. Did you play Rogue Squadron at all?
I didn't.
It's a good one.
What's the other one? The Force Unleashed.
Oh yeah, I played
was
that
a
on
good
the
one.
iPad a little bit.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of Star Wars games growing up, but I did have Rogue Squadron.
Lego Star Wars were always great.
Yes,
Right.
classics.
Always great. But yeah, I had a Lego. What are the speed? What are they called?
Pod racers.
Pod racers. I had a
Yeah.
Lego Pod racer. It was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. It was
Sounds
sick.
like a good time.
It was sick.
Wow, it's the best.
What's your if you had to pick one, your favorite Star Wars game?
Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron.
Yep, and
Okay,
then
I'll have to
Battlefront
find it.
hangs out right after that.
I'll have to find it. I do love Battlefront.
Yeah, I've got it as a game on my computer. You can buy it still online. You can buy
There
a
you
lot of
go.
the other games download only for like $3, $4. I'll hook you up. I know a guy.
Now you know.
Now you know. The more you know, folks. All right, Tanner. Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. Are you going to do anything ridiculous or crazy for Cinco de Mayo? Should we have like a guac off?
I almost like
tequila
have to
off?
make tacos, right?
I think we should just make tacos.
We do
for the show
margaritas tomorrow?
Margarita Friday and Cinco de Mayo. Jamie and I were talking about doing opening the show tomorrow, doing shots of tequila, wearing sombreros, and eating tacos.
Let's go to Party City and get some sombreros.
I think we're gonna need to find that out. We'll send an intern to get some. But I can't imagine I literally can't imagine doing a shot of tequila at 7 a.m.
Good luck. You won't make it to halftime.
I'll be like, I'm gonna sleep on the floor for 4 hours and be like, Tanner, your show today.
Oh man.
Yeah, but Jamie's like, let's do it. I'm like, you're talking awful big there. You're talking awful big. Adam says tomorrow.
Adam says build a wall.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. We're gonna build a wall. I like that. I think they're trying to build a wall outside the studio right now.
what it
Drink
sounds
Corona
like.
beers for 5 de Mayo. I like it.
Beautiful.
Shots of tequila, guacamole, tacos, and sombreros tomorrow.
Best 2 days of the year. May the 4th and Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo and 4th be with you. And also with you.
All right.
All right. David says, I'm going to wake up early to watch tequila shots and start morning brew. Yeah, we're going to do it. I'm going to hate myself.
It's happening.
I'm going to have to wake up at like 3 in the morning to like eat normal food for a couple hours so my body doesn't have the first thing put into it is tequila tomorrow. Yep. I don't roll like that. I'm not young and impressionable like you.
Nope.
It's not going to happen.
I didn't think that was a secret. Young and impressionable.
I don't know. Keep it here on Brew Sports for all the great content we've got rolling. We'll be back here again tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Time. You can watch everything on Facebook and on YouTube and listen to it live on Spreaker.com. Invite your friends to like us on Facebook as well, too. The more people that like us, the more people that can experience Tanner talking about the Buffalo Bills, tequila shots at 7 a.m., everything. It all happens here on Brew Sports.
You heard it here first.
He's Tanner Burke. I'm Baxter Colburn. It's always a pleasure, guys. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you tomorrow for Cinco de Mayo.
May the 4th be with you.
Have a good day, everybody.
3, 2, 1.